Have you been interested in prospecting in newsletters, maybe getting around your neighborhood, a little bit of farming, and want some more details on that? Well, you're at the right video. We're going to go over connecting with your local community, talking about newsletters, so stick around. What's up, everybody? This is Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group here with LPT Realty, coming at you with some more great information. Whether you're starting out as a brand new agent or a wannabe agent, you've been a buyer's agent, a single agent, team lead, or beyond, I've been there. I've made so many mistakes along this way, and I would love you to learn vicariously through me so you don't make those same mistakes. They always say that you are the sum or the combination of the three voices that you listen to. Let me be one of those voices to help excel your career. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about newsletters, right? So what is a newsletter? Maybe somebody had mentioned it in passing. Maybe you saw that on a prospecting list and you're like, well, let's take a look at this. What is it? Is it even viable? Or is this just going to be something I spend hours and hours on and it doesn't do anything? Well, a newsletter is an update. Basically, think about newspaper, but it's just a one-page typical newsletter of what's going on in their community. Now, a newsletter could be community events, it could be a lot of different things, but the thing that you want to focus this on is to make sure that it is niched into exactly what you are trying to provide, which is value, which is information about the community, right? So what you could do is figure out a community that you want to farm, somewhere you want to get listings, because a newsletter is more than likely going to produce listings, right? Because you are the area expert and that's what you're trying to give yourself or trying to personify yourself as. So when you get this newsletter, how do you distribute it, right? Is it just going door to door? Is it knocking? Well, it could be any amount of these different ways. You can try emailing them. You could try social media and posting them. You could print out flyers and go flyer all the doors or door knock and hand them and start having conversations. You could do videos of what's on there, right? Actually, a key trick in 2023 is you can record your voice with AI and have it read the transcript of what's on there, and now you don't have to do any work. Matter of fact, you could even hire a virtual assistant to do this for you. Lots more on that. 2023 is an exciting time for AI. You could also mail it. You know, get some labels, print them all out, and then mail it that way. But there's tons of ways to distribute this in order to get that presence there. So first step is to figure out, am I going to do a newsletter? Second one is to figure out where I want to do this newsletter to begin with. I would find a community that you want to get listings. Try a community that's not already saturated by an agent or two. And then once you figure that out, figure out how many sales, usually through your multiple listing service, how many sales year over year has been coming from this community. And if it makes sense, go ahead and start prospecting that community. So Tim, that's great. I've got all these things, but what the heck do I put on this newsletter? That's a great question. There are tons of different ideas. Now, the list I'm going to give you is not all inclusive. Don't put all of this on there. It'll be too much, okay? But pick the things out that are most relevant to you or mix and match throughout. The things that should always be key in there is going to be your real estate data, okay? So let's go over those ones that really, really need to be there every single time. Number one is market statistics. What's sold? What's pending? What's the current rates at, right? What's the average days on market? Are things going up? Are they going down? What are some current listings that are out there? Any market data that you can share with consumers is really good. And if you don't know what that looks like, most of you should have a CRM or a website that can generate those automatically for people that subscribe to your website. Just make yourself somebody, send something to yourself, and all that data should be there for you. Or just look it up in the MLS. Other things you want is to make sure that your brand is always on there and it's consistent. If you don't know what your brand is, it's this. It's your face. It's your face. Make sure your face is on there all the time. People will remember faces way more than they'll remember a brand or a name. So make sure to be sure that you have your face on there, that if you have a personalized logo, that it's on there, but definitely make sure that your broker is on there as well. And you'll also always have a CTA, which is called a call to action, and that it has your contact information for people to reach out to you. Okay? A call to action should be sign up for our digital newsletter. Could be give me a call if you need help selling your home, something of that nature. Okay, so continue to move. We also have local events and news. You can add that with local news, specifically what's going on in this HOA community or what's going on in this community. That's really niche, so people love that. You'll want testimonials for people that have worked with you, not necessarily in here, but maybe just in your business. You'll also have home buying tips, okay? Maybe not necessarily home buying tips, but you can throw them in there. What I would put is home maintenance tips. So how to fix things, some easy ways to do so. You can also spotlight a featured listing on there. Hopefully it's yours, but something that you get permission to spotlight in your newsletter. You can also put an FAQ, a frequently asked questions section in there. And realistically, you could just make it up. Somebody has asked this or hypothetically asked this or whatever. If you need some help with creating this content, matter of fact, almost all of this content, it's in the age of AI. Use ChatGPT in order to create those. You also have resources for sellers. Resources for sellers could be plumbers. It could be electricians. It could be rehab people. It could be handymen. It could be anything to help them with their home. So resources for that, or could be just ways to spruce up your home in order to get it ready for sale. How to make curb appeal better. All the standard stuff that we would do. And if you also have a promotion, if you or your team or your brokerage has a guaranteed sell program or something that's a promotion, money back, whatever that you have, you can throw that in there for promotions for yourself. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Now, if you're also in a state that requires a legal disclosure, I know California does and probably a variety of other states, throw that in there as long as it's needed. So now that we've kind of figured that out, now we have to go, how often do we send it? We don't want to send it too much because we're going to look spammy. We don't want to send it not enough because nobody's going to remember who sent it, right? So how often should you do this? If you're going to hit a newsletter to a specific person over a specific platform, do it monthly. Monthly isn't too much, but monthly is probably not too much for it to seem spammy, but enough that people will continue to recognize it. But just know that this can take some time. It could take up to a year before people start recognizing that brand and that newsletter, but also it could happen immediately. It really just depends upon what's in front of somebody at the right time. My pro tip for all of this is that if you are going to do newsletters, that you add it with other things that you're doing in the community, combined it with other marketing and other prospecting. So maybe you're part of an HOA community page and you post that to each person. Or maybe you do a video and you send it to all the people and all the homeowners of what the newsletter is about so they can watch it on there. You can also put a lot of other things together as far as circle prospecting for an open house. You can send the open house mailers that is in that community as well as a newsletter, a just listed, a just sold. You can door knock for an open house. All these other things can combine, and we can combine all relevant sources at one time. It's going to be your best effective effort. If there are listings to be had, you're probably going to get it. But that's all I have for you for the neighborhood newsletter, connecting with the local community. If you have any questions about anything that I mentioned here, please do leave it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And if you are considering going on to one of our teams here at LPT or just joining LPT in general, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help any way I can. Give me a call, text, email, find me on social media. Whatever you got to do, we got you in exploding your career. But again, my name is Tim Whittemore. I'm here with the Whittemore Group at LPT Realty. We'll see you in our next video. Take care.